Hello, we are here with the WOLFANG GA100 action camera, and this time this is going to be an image stabilization test with this budget-friendly action camera. Let me repeat that. Image stabilization video test with the EIS feature enabled, 1080p 60 frames per second. We're going to take a walk around here and we're going to just let you decide for yourself if you think that the footage looks stabilized. Just keep in mind that with $50 or less budget-friendly action cameras, it's not always the case that the image stabilization will look very good. However, we're going to try to keep the camera as still as possible while walking around. Again, before we start walking around, this is the WOLFANG GA100 action camera, and we're going to do an image stabilization test with 1080p resolution, 60 frames per second. Let's start the video. Trying to hold the camera steady, and we're just going to walk straight. I have my flip-flops, and just trying to keep the camera steady. I'm not going to shake it on purpose, but the goal with image stabilization is that when you're watching the video, it should be shaking a minimal amount so that it doesn't really distract you from what's going on in the video. Because let me tell you, on cameras with absolutely no stabilization, if you're walking around, it's going to be shaking a lot. So stabilization can make a very big difference. But if the camera's shaking too much, kind of defeats the purpose of having the stabilization if it means that the video is still very difficult to watch anyways. Okay, so I'm walking sort of slowly, not very quickly, keeping the camera still. Again, this is the WOLFANG GA100 action camera with an EIS feature, electronic image stabilization. So, now we're going to just stop for a moment. I'm going to move the camera around very slowly, and hopefully this will definitely have the camera being stable. So the other advantage of EIS, image stabilization, is not just that you should be able to record good video while walking around. It should also help you while you're just moving the camera very slowly and standing in one place, which is what we're doing right now. So we're just moving the camera around very slowly, and we're hoping that the video is going to look very smooth. That is the goal here. Just keep in mind that not all image stabilization is the same. Some cameras will have a better image stabilization feature than other cameras, so they're not all the same. So just because a camera says 4K 30 frames per second EIS doesn't mean that that camera is a substitute for $200, $300 point-and-shoot cameras or your $200 to $300 expensive action cameras. Just keep in mind that not all features are the same. 1080p 60 frames per second on one camera might look completely different than 1080p 60 frames per second on another camera. They're just different devices, and they perform the functions, perform the features differently. Okay, so now that we have just moved the camera around, we're just going to continue walking. We're going to go there, and then I'm going to go back down there, and then you'll just be able to kind of decide for yourself if this video is watchable. Are you able to watch without being distracted by the shakiness? Let's find out. Again, if you would just like to see what we're recording with, this is the WOLFANG GA100 budget-friendly action camera, recently purchased on and available on Amazon. Okay, we're going to go back up. Then we're going to go back down. So, Image stabilization video test. The WOLFANG GA100 action camera. Image stabilization test with the WOLFANG GA100 action camera. This will conclude our image stabilization video test. I'll let you decide for yourself if you think that the quality, that the video is not too shaky. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Image stabilization video test with the WOLFANG GA100 action camera.